All right, we just wrapped up the Sunday action in week 16 of the NFL season. Just 2 weeks remaining. I'm going to go through, break down every single game from Sunday's action, give you my initial reactions, everything I saw from Sunday. Let's hop on into it. Okay, Falcons take down the Giants 34-7 to take control of the NFC South and their playoff hopes. Michael Penix in his first career start wasn't bad. 18-27, 200 yards. Did throw an interception. Absolutely not his fault. Kyle Pitts is a bozo. Bijan Robinson, 94 and 2 tutties on the ground. 2 defensive touchdowns for the Atlanta Falcons. 2 pick sixes. That was Drew Lock's 2 picks. Drew Lock is garbage. The Giants are garbage, but now Giants sitting in control of that number 1 overall pick. Maybe it's all part of the plan. Malik Neighbors, 7 for 68. The Giants are terrible, and somehow the Falcons are in control of their own destiny and in first place in the NFC South. Okay, the Lions beat down the pathetic Chicago Bears 34-17 to move to 13-2 on the season. Another team, they control their destiny for the 1 seed in the NFC. Jared Goff, solid day, 336 yards and 3 touchdowns for him. Had a fake fumble. I don't know what's going on, throwing to Sam Laporta. Jahmyr Gibbs, 100 yards on the ground, plus had another 45 receiving, had a touchdown. Amon-Ra had a touchdown, a nice day. Jamison Williams, the big day, a $143 and a touchdown, an 82-yard touchdown for them. Lions defense did a good job in the second half. This game was kind of close. It was 27-14 at halftime. I was like, okay, maybe the Bears are going to put up a fight. Nope. Caleb Williams, 334, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions for him. No run game at all for Chicago. It's just bad. It's so pathetic, their running game. Keenan Allen, 141 and a touchdown. Roma Dunze, 77, but had a fumble in this game. It was just really kind of pathetic for the Bears all around. Lions, they love beating up on bad teams, get a win, and again, control their destiny in the NFC at 13-2. Okay, the Bengals keep their season alive, taking down the Browns 24-6 to move to 7-8. Cleveland falls to 3-12. And I know Jameis Winston was hurt, but Dorian Thompson-Robinson, not it. Like, they took away our guy for this. He was horrible. 2 interceptions, 157 yards. Jerome Ford, 92 on the ground and a touchdown. But this was kind of a weird game. The Bengals are just, they're not that good. They're scary. Joe Burrow's awesome. 252, 3 touchdowns. Chase Brown, a solid 91 on the ground. Jamar Chase, 97 and a touchdown. T. Higgins has 58 and a touchdown, even though he got banged up. But they could just never really blow this thing open, put this game away. Defense kind of, lackadaisical out there. But the Bengals won. They do have a shot. Huge game next week against the Denver Broncos. They win that one, and things get very interesting heading into week 18 in the AFC. But the Bengals stay alive, and Cleveland, they got absolutely no hope at quarterback. Okay, the Colts get a win and stay alive as well in that AFC playoff picture, winning 38-30. This was a weird one. They were up 38-7 in this game. Tennessee mounted a comeback. And Jonathan Taylor dropping the ball before the end zone against Denver last week might have cost the Colts their entire season, but he tried to make up for it today. 218 on the ground, 3 tutties, had a 70-yarder, was just outstanding. Anthony Richardson completed 7 passes today. 7 passes with a touchdown and an interception. Did add another 70 on the ground for him. This was just a running, grindy attack. They managed to seal the game late when Tennessee was mounting the comeback. Mason Rudolph, 3 interceptions. Not great. Had 2 touchdowns. Tony Pollard really didn't do much. He was banged up, but he didn't really do anything. Tajay Spears gets the 2 touchdowns on the ground. Chigarankwo with a nice 81 yards receiving. Calvin Ridley has 78, and a touchdown for him. So all around, just kind of a weird game, but the Colts stay alive. They have a shot. If they win out and the Broncos lose out, Colts will be in the AFC playoffs as your number 7 seed. Okay, and the Rams take control of the NFC West, beating the New York Jets 19-9. What a weird and bizarre game. The Jets made every poor play, every disastrous decision to lose this game. Rams score 13 unanswered in the fourth quarter to win this one. Somehow the Jets were winning this game 12-6. The kickers were abysmal in this game. We got missed extra points, missed field goals left and right. Aaron Rodgers was okay, 256 and a touchdown going to Devontae Adams, who had 68. Receiving yards, a little bit better day on the ground with Breece Hall, 52, but still not a lot. Kyron Williams, 122 and a touchdown. He was the bell cow. Matt Stafford looked really bad. The passing game was not good for the Rams. 110 for him, a touchdown and a pick. Puka Nacua, 50 56 yards. Cooper Kupp, another dud, 3 for 24. This was a weird and ugly game, but the Rams now sitting in first place, a game up on the Seahawks, and they take on Seattle that final week of the season. Are the Rams a scary team in the postseason? Potentially, man. At home, who knows what kind of damage the Rams could do, especially if they get a team like Minnesota or Green Bay coming to LA. That would be a fun round one matchup. Okay, the Washington Commanders move one step closer to that postseason berth, taking down the arch rival Philadelphia Eagles 36-33. Really great win for the Commanders. Now, look, I know Jalen Hurts goes down early in this game. He's out with a concussion. Kenny Pickett steps in. I don't think Kenny Pickett was too bad. Had a bad interception early, but they were up 14-0 in this game. Washington just kept grinding away at this thing. Eagles couldn't convert. Honestly, Devontae Smith, he drops the ball. If he catches that, this party's over. Jaden Daniels, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, including that game-winning touchdown pass with just 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. There was like no run game to speak of. Brian Robinson fumbled twice, only had 24 yards. Jaden Daniels, 81 on the ground, had a huge 4th and 11 conversion late in this game. We got Zacchaeus catching 2 touchdowns. Scary Terry obviously getting into the end zone. A.J. Brown, 97 and a tutty. Him and Marshawn Lattimore were going back and forth all game. That got the juices flowing because, you know, Marshawn Lattimore needs somebody to hate. Saquon Barkley, 150 and 2 tutties. Really didn't do much. Had like 102 or 109 in the first quarter and then didn't do much after that. So good adjustment by Washington. Probably not going to win this division unless Philadelphia completely collapses, but looking like they're going to get themselves a wild card spot in year 1 of Dan Quinn and Jaden Daniels. Great job, Washington. Okay, and the Carolina Panthers finally got a win in overtime, 36-30 against the Arizona Cardinals, eliminating them from the postseason. Kyler Murray looking a hell of a lot more like Daniel Jones these days than you want to admit. 201 touchdown, an abysmal interception. Now, he did get them in a field goal range to send this game into overtime. Chad Ryland with a 58-yarder. James Conner, 117 and a touchdown on the ground. He did get banged up, 49 yards receiving as well. He was the leading receiver. Absolutely nothing from Trey McBride. I think he had like 9 yards on 2 receptions. Marvin Harrison Jr., a complete dud again. But my guy, Chuba Hubbard, a $152 and 2 tutties, including the walk-off winner in overtime. Bryce Young, feeling great for the kid. You know, not a crazy good day, 158, but he had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, solid all around, and he had 68 and a touchdown on the ground. Bryce Young just back to playing football. This is the Alabama Bryce Young we all thought we were getting. Adam Thielen had another touchdown, 43 for him. David Moore gets into the end zone, but finally, Carolina gets a win here. Screw the draft pick. You're not drafting a quarterback, and it's a bad quarterback draft anyway. And Arizona, you're going to have some serious questions, I think, moving forward because I like the direction of this team. Not a huge fan of their quarterback situation. Panthers win 36-30. All right, the Buffalo Bills keep pace with the Kansas City Chiefs, taking down the New England Patriots 24-21 to move to 12-3 on the season. This was a weird game. New England kind of hung around. They got out early on Buffalo. Drake May, fine game, 2 touchdowns and an interception, 261. Only had 30 yards rushing. We know Drake May can do it on the ground as well. But this was the killer, man. They had the weird backwards lateral that they thought was an incomplete pass from Ramondre Stevenson. Buffalo falls on it in the end zone, and that ends up being the difference in this one. James Cook, a great day on the ground, 11 carries for 100 and a tutty, including a 46-yarder, and he was their leading receiver, 26 yards and a touchdown for him, so a pair for James Cook, but nobody else did anything. Khalil Shakir, his worst game of the season. Mac Hollins is like your leading wide receiver. Dawson Knox, again, where the hell is Amari Cooper? Josh Allen, not great, 154 and a touchdown interception, making the MVPs very interesting in this race because, this was bad for them. Buffalo does get the win here, but lots of concerns if I'm a Bills fan looking like that against New England. This defense is not right, man. They really can't stop people. So Bills win 24-21, but I don't know, man. A lot more questions than answers for Buffalo. Okay, the Raiders win the toilet bowl game, throwing away the number 1 overall pick in this upcoming draft, taking down the Jaguars 19-14. This was just like a really weird game and awful to watch. Amir Abdullah, he had a nice day for the Raiders, 38 yards and a touchdown. Madison also had a rushing touchdown. Abdullah added 47 on the ground. Brock Bowers is the man. Brock Bowers, rookie stud tight end. He's probably going to break all those tight end records. 11 catches for 99 yards. Brian Thomas Jr., another rookie stud at the wide receiver. He was really the only thing going for Jacksonville today. He had 132 and a touchdown and a nice long 62-yarder. Tank Bigsby, 50 and a tutty. Travis Etienne, 22 on 9, like 2.4 yards a carry for Travis Etienne. Mac Jones was whatever, 247, a touchdown, no picks. This is just like two awful football teams, but Vegas has been playing hard lately. I kind of thought Vegas would find a way to screw this up, this first round pick. But again, if Shadur Sanders is their guy, he says he's only playing for the Raiders, guess who's fallen to the number 6 pick? So Raiders win. Maybe it didn't matter, but they were probably due. Antonio Pierce gonna stay? I don't know. Doug Peterson definitely getting fired. Okay, the Dolphins, another team that keep their season alive, taking down the San Francisco 49ers 29-17. And man, the Super Bowl hangover is officially on and the season is over for the 49ers. Brock Purdy was fine in this game, 313, 2 tutties, interception. Deebo Samuel finally having a big game again, 96 and a touchdown, plus 25 on the ground. George Kittle goes over 100, but just unclean play, mistakes made. Deebo has a big play called back because Ricky Pearsall's lined up incorrectly. They then miss a field goal. This game was pretty tight. Devon Achane, my guy, 120 and a tutty on the ground. He put the stamp on this one inside the 2-minute warning. He was also their leading receiver with 70 yards, and I believe he's their leading rusher and leading receiver on the season for Miami. Tua, 215 and a touchdown. Wasn't anything crazy, wasn't anything great. It was below 80 degrees in Miami, so these are the kind of games we're going to get out of the Dolphins. They're still alive. I don't know if they're going to get into the playoffs. I sure as hell hope not. Mike McDaniel probably needs to get fired. San Francisco, it's bad, but Dolphins win 29-17. Okay, the best game of the late window, my Minnesota Vikings taking down the Seattle Seahawks 27-24, and really a lights out game for Geno Smith. 3 touchdowns, 314, but he did have 2 interceptions, including the game clincher on the final drive. Sam Darnold, another stellar performance, 246, 3 touchdowns for him. Jay Jetta's 144, 2 touchdowns. Addison got back into the end zone as well. And this was kind of a grindy game back and forth. Weather was really bad in the first half. Teams couldn't really move the ball. They were both abysmal on third down. Seattle goes ahead, takes the lead late in this game inside the final 5 minutes. Sam Darnold with a dot to Jefferson, and the Vikings defense seals the deal. So Minnesota moves to 13-2 and keeps pace with the Lions. They also control their destiny for not only the NFC North, but the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. And Seattle now kind of in trouble with the Los Angeles Rams in that NFC West, but they win next week. They win the last week. They will win the division, I believe. So they do still have all to play for in Seattle, but that's going to be a tough one going into LA in week 18. But if we can get more Geno games like this, Kenneth Walker gets banged up again. The run game was non-existent. Jackson Smith and Jigba, big game with a touchdown. DK Metcalf had a touchdown early, but he was kind of quiet the rest of the game. Kind of a real critical spot here for the Seahawks. And Minnesota, if they can find a way to win next week, it's going to play for everything against the Lions in week 18. And finally, the Dallas Cowboys take down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 26-24. How about them Cowboys? You know, ruining any kind of draft pick, but also potentially ruining Tampa Bay's season. Atlanta now controls the NFC South. Tampa Bay is back up against it, probably out of contention in the wild card spot. Baker Mayfield, 303, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Interception was really not even his fault. McMillan gets it stripped away from him. Mike Evans, 69 yards, no touchdown for him. Decent day on the ground for Bucky Irving, 68 and a tutty. Baker had 42 on the ground. No Rachaad White, really. They had a decent reception, 7 receptions, 50 yards. That was a decent day. CD playing with one arm, goes over 100 in the first half. Doesn't really do anything in the second half. No rushing game, what to speak of from the Cowboys. But Cooper Rush doing just enough. 292 and a touchdown. Really, the MVP of this game is my man, Brandon Aubrey. What was he? 4 for 4. Had like 258 yards or something like that. Just all sorts of great stuff from him. So what a really surprising win for the Cowboys, and everyone in Atlanta very happy with Dallas. But that's going to do it for us today. Let me know down in the comments below what your takeaways were for Sunday. Who do you like in the Monday night game between Green Bay and New Orleans? Probably going to be a rout, but let me know anyway. Again, if you haven't already, drop a quick like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. We got daily sports content for you guys every single day. If you want to support the channel more, sign up for a channel membership. You get your members-only exclusive video every single week. We're trying to push out channel memberships. Help support me, allows me to keep making this great content for you guys every single day. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.